Hi everybody, welcome back to Iconic Rod and Custom. I'm Greg Martin, and today I want to tell you a little bit about an upcoming build that we're soon going to be starting here in the shop, hopefully within the next 2 months, fingers crossed. The 1939 Duesenberg Coupe Simone, the Midnight Ghost. Now, some of you might be saying, what? Duesenberg never had a car in 1939. 1937 was the last one built, and those Duesenbergs were all built in 1927 and 1928. It just took 10 years to sell them all off. The Duesenberg brothers weren't very savvy at marketing and advertising, and the business almost turned upside down. The Duesenbergs are a high-end car for the rich and famous mostly, and Cord Motor Company, they actually stepped in, bought them, and helped finish selling them off. But the 1939 Duesenberg Coupe Simone came to be as the story begins. In France, there was a cosmetics guru, Guy de la Rouche. Now, he was at the world premiere of this film, The Clearing Cloud. And during this film, during this movie, he had seen this car that really caught his eye that the leading man was driving. So he set out and found who the builder of this car was. And he was so intrigued by the aerodynamics of it and whatnot, he commissioned Emmett-Armand Coachworks in Greenbriar, Pennsylvania to build this car on a Duesenberg chassis. The Model J, which is 153 inches long wheelbase, huge. That's as big or maybe even bigger than a crew cab, 8-foot bed pickup. Just massive length. He wanted the fastest and the most aerodynamic, and he wanted to build it for his love, a lady called Simone. Emmett-Armand took 3 years to build this car, and once it was complete, they wanted to debut it at the 1939 New York World's Fair. But first, they wanted to take it over to France for the approval of Rouche. So Emmett set out with the car, took it over to France, only to find that there was a love triangle between Rouche, Simone, and his right-hand man, James Sinclair. So, that being said, he took the car, kicked Emmett off the property without any intentions of paying for the car. So Emmett was distraught. He got together with St. Clair to try to steal the car back and save Simone from Rouche. And he had sent a telegram back to Armand in Greenbriar, Pennsylvania in the United States, saying that his return would be delayed, that he's trying to secure a safe place for the car until things cleared up. But in 1939 also, World War II was breaking out, and the ominous war clouds were darkening the skies of Europe. So after that, Emmett and the car disappeared. Armand, back in Pennsylvania, got so distraught that he went over to Europe, and he also disappeared. Now, supposedly, this car showed back up a year later. This is where the story gets a little different. 1 year later, the car was seen at the New York World's Fair and never been seen again after that. Also, there's a story that 60 years later, the car was seen, and that was it also. Now, the two designers, they're just amazing in this whole story. The movie script, as I said, and the car, it's not, the car designers of the day, they would always kind of peer into the future to see what, the aerodynamics and whatnot. And this car, it caught my eye. As soon as I saw it, it's like, that is so cool. Huge, but it is so cool. So here we are. I found Rafi. I started talking to him, and we collaborated, and he was collaborating with Roger. We're going to scale this thing just slightly. We're not scaling it down too much, but to make it a little more roadworthy. And we're probably going to modernize the engine. You know, we're going to put a modern drivetrain in it. And this obviously, you know, in the storyline, the Duesenberg had an engine. And here's where everything really gets cool. Greenbriar, Pennsylvania is only 25 minutes, 30 minutes from my shop where I sit right now. And all the Duesenberg engines were built by Lycoming Engines in Williamsport, which is maybe 2 miles from my shop. So this whole thing is just, it's awesome. Here we are in Pennsylvania. We're going to actually build this car. You can call us Emmett-Armand of the modern day era. I don't, you know, but this is cool. This is really cool. But we're going to build it out of aluminum though. We're not going to build it out of steel. It's such a large car, and we're going to try to keep it somewhat lightweight. And as I said, we're probably going to use modern driveline in this thing. But here we are. It's the start of something different. And I cannot believe that this whole storyline movie script was never picked up by any producer. I can see Guy Rouche being played by Leonardo DiCaprio. Maybe St. Clair is Johnny Depp. Maybe Simone, Jennifer Aniston or somebody. You know, it's just crazy. Do a little research on it. Look it up, but it is awesome. It is incredible. This car, we're going to bring it to life, finally. So, we're going to start a video series of this. It'll be a playlist of its own on our YouTube channel, obviously. So, I would love to have you all like, subscribe, and hit those notifications, because once we get going, I'm going to try to upload at least 1 a week, if not 2. I can't make any promises because we're going to be busy. This is going to be extremely massive undertaking, but we're going to do it. So that being said, thank you all for joining me. And like I said, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date. Take care. We'll see you soon.